Let me start today and welcome you on the VFR flight from Lake County, where we ended up last time, and hello, Gene, to Granby-Grand County. Um, it sounds a little funny, but it's the real name. Before I start, let me initiate this by saying that just a few minutes ago I read an interesting news from the pilot training department, and specifically that is that starting 1st of March, the Unicom will no longer be used in the US, but we will use the actual CTAF frequencies as found on the sectional charts. So as much as I welcome this change, I understand that at least in the beginning, it's gonna be a total mayhem, at least in some busy areas. So I would strongly encourage everyone to use the CTAF and also monitor Unicom on the second radio, because a lot of people will be still broadcasting there. And to top it off, I believe if you are not flying within the ATC controlled area and you are not even landing, at a field, then I believe that the Unicom is still the correct frequency to monitor. So, for example, en route and so on. All right, so that was the news, and now let's continue. As always, I have the weather slide here, but not updated for METARs and TAFs, so we'll just do that live here. So I will just load the data and let's see what does it say. So the METAR at Lake County says that we have quite strong winds from the side, so should be interesting. We have a broken layer 7,000 feet above us, and we have +2 degrees, and the dew point is -8 with the altimeter at 3022. So it should be fine here. Our destination, apart from the wind, obviously, our destination, it has much more friendlier winds. Again, good visibility, no clouds as of now, and also a good temperature and slightly lower pressure. Neither of those airports have TAF published, and the only TAF in the vicinity is from Aspen, and it's saying basically that the conditions should remain as they are mostly. Here on that crosswind, we'll touch that at the departure slide. If I look here at the aviationweather.gov, we have our departure and destination here, and the current conditions basically mirror what we've seen in the METAR. Seems like clouds are flickering on and off. I don't know what happened to the weather today, but let's just not pay attention to it. Now that's better. Let's switch to clouds, because those were the most kind of dubious if we will be able to fly VFR today. And from the forecast, it looks bleaky, to be honest. This is mountain obscuration airmet, which is valid from it's valid from 19 Zulu to 21 Zulu, so that's basically now. And also from the forecast, you can see why, because those layers are reported to be at 11,000 feet, 12,000 feet, 12,000 feet, and 13,000 feet, which is basically the top of the mountains here in the area. So the actual clouds at our departure is a little bit higher. If you remember, the METAR said that it's 7,000 feet. If you add the airport elevation of almost 10,000, that's 17,000, whereas the forecast is for 13,000. So if the clouds hold high, we are quite all right. If they don't, then we'll need to fly under them or switch to IFR, but that would also have other problems there, as the temperatures in the clouds will be sub-zero, and thus the icing would occur. If I look in the simulator right now, and excuse me, like that, then above the airport it looks like high enough maybe, but we might have some problems. So we'll see how the flight will progress, if we are able to wind it or not. I would say that had it been in real life, I would definitely scrap the VFR flight today, because we will be forced to fly in the valleys, and that's not really something that you would want to do um, longer than necessary. But as this is a simulator, we can have some fun and try to fly in the valleys. The wind, surface wind, is not looking really pleasant. We have gusts here. Gusts are also forecasted there at our destination, but currently there are none. And we'll see when we come to the departure procedure how that affects us. The wind at altitude, we have a steady wind, steady westerly wind of 20 knots. What is important to notice is that we are in the mountainous terrain with tops around 12,000 feet. And that means that as the wind comes from the west, it will form problematic turbulences on the leeward side of the mountains, or it might. So that's another reason why you usually don't want to fly in the valleys if there is a windy weather, because that tends to be quite dangerous. So we would be affected by those winds below the levels of the mountain tops. We would be limited by those, and we would be limited from the top by the clouds. So I believe quite an interesting flight awaits us. And let me repeat that again. In real life, just scrap it and wait for better weather. All right. So yeah, already said that. Yes. So let's move forward. The departure airport, that's the airport we ended up last time, and it's the highest airport in the US. So taking off from this airport, I believe that we have a lot of runway available, 6,400 feet, at least for our small aircraft. I would probably use the majority of the runway. If we do the performance calculations as we should, we will find out that, for example, my Piper will need about maybe 2,500 feet to successfully lift off. But then notice that also the climb performance will be limited, because my engine is normally aspirated. For guys with ATRs, hello Valerio. If you plan to use that, just make sure that you
Yeah,
are able to take off from this runway at this altitude.
yeah, I have the boost.
Yeah. All right. The destination, again, that's another airport i- which is elevation is quite high, uh, even though it's lower, obviously. Not the pen, this one. 8,207 feet. Um, Again, the runway is only 5,000 feet this time. So again, check the performance. For us general aviation aircraft, it should be, or it is quite fine. It's unattended. Some remarks. There are some remarks about takeoff procedure, that we should take off to the east only if you are very experienced. As you can see, if you take off to the east, you have high terrain immediately after the airport. So that's something to take into account as well. But we will be landing today. Just have it in mind for a possible go-around procedure. Route planning. I'll switch to the map, probably. Yeah, let me switch to the map here. I tried to weave the route along some valleys and passes and whatnot. There is another route that is quite more obvious, and that is to depart to the north and fly here along the road. And this is also one of the instrument departures. It will take you to here. So it sounds like a more safe option, but it's also a little bit longer maybe. So again, real life, I would choose to fly here to be more safe. In the simulator, I will try to do the sightseeing and give myself some extra challenge in the safe environment of home desktop simulator. So, what the route is. There is a mosquito pass. If you see these lines, then we should be quite able to recognize this entrance, this valley, and fly along that. We have very high mountains on the right all the time. There should be some mine as my first turning point, and then I would continue not using like this straight line, but really following the road and valley all the way to this fork. Uh, Here, this is a weather station. That's not an airport, but there is a weather station on the top of the mountain. So we can also use that one to observe the current weather. And we can see that currently we should have the layer 3,400 feet above the elevation of this station. The simulator might depict that differently because it takes meters into account only. Partly, like it takes partly, and partly it's just the model and forecast that has been predicted from Meteor Blue. So we might find the clouds lower than they would really be. Then I continue. This Dillon Reservoir should be quite easy to spot. There is a dam on the northwestern side of it. So that's my another turning point. Then I follow yet another valley, Blue River one. And here I should be able to see Green Mountain Reservoir in the distance. And if I see that this terrain is too high for me to cross, or if there are mountains, I will just extend it, fly over the Green Mountain Reservoir, and take it like this from the west a little bit more, because the terrain is lower here. And then another body of water that should be easily recognizable from the air. And then we continue here to the airport. If I switch to Cheyenne one, then we can see the immediate vicinity of the airport, and again a nice Lake Granby to the north. And if you are over that, you already know that you've come too far. All right, as far as the airspaces go, we will be flying in class Golf and Alpha, class Golf and Echo all the way. So no higher airspaces there. The only thing that we should really pay attention to are those wilderness areas, as is so common in these parts. Namely, we have Eagle's Nest here, we have the Ptarmigan Peak Wilderness over there. So we're just waving, or I'm waving my my route in between those. And when I come further north, there's some Arapacho National Recreation Area to the east of the airport, and nothing more than I can see. So just those. Remember, you should always fly at least 2,000 feet AGL if you're flying over these areas. Okay, that's route. Okay, I need to use my keyboard. So this is departure. If you check the chart supplement, you will find that runway 34 has a left traffic pattern and runway 16 has a right one. The standard VFR departure is to either straight ahead or straight out, or 45 degrees to your crosswind like. This is the altitude I marked as a safe altitude to begin deviating from these recommended paths, and that is 500 feet above the traffic pattern altitude. This turn to crosswind should be standardly done at 700 feet AGL, as if you would normally turn to crosswind. No matter what you do, just don't begin the turn below 400 feet AGL, as that's just a recommended procedure to fly straight ahead, also for safety reasons. Today the wind is 220 if I remember correctly. Let me review that. That was an hour ago, so we'll see what it brings like in 10 minutes as we start. 220 in this area means that we have what we have here. We have the isogenic line, and I'm looking for the variation, and it's almost 10 degrees east. So the wind is actually from like 210 mostly. If I look at the heading of the runway, so we have 170 true. So in that case, 220 true for wind, and that's a 50-degree angle. That means more than a half of the wind will actually be a crosswind component. And if the wind is like gusting 19, that means that the crosswind can be as high as 13 knots in gusts. So it is manageable, but it might be difficult. Just bear that in mind. And we will obviously use runway 16 for takeoff. So if I see correctly, there should be a taxiway there, actually there, and I'm personally planning to take the whole runway because of the altitude. So the standard calls are listed as always, so feel free to refer to them. Yeah, and what I'm planning is I probably take off either straight ahead or I'll turn right and then come back over the airport and start my navigation from there. It's gonna be easier that way. En route, unless I'm mistaken, we don't have any central controller online. There is only Minneapolis and LAX center. So no flight following for you guys today. Sorry. So I'll just skip this slide. If we happen to have a controller, just feel free to reference to this and to have a correct radio telephony phraseology. The arrival to the airport, we will be coming from the southeast. So, and since the traffic pattern is to the north in both directions, so for both runways, so runway 9er has a left traffic pattern and runway 27 a right one. Then I believe that what we should do is to overfly the field at least 500 feet above the traffic pattern altitude. This time it would be 9,700 MSL, and then fly at least 2 nautical miles straight ahead, and only then do the either left or right teardrop entry into the downwind. Why we are flying 2 nautical miles? That's easy because, and without descending, that's easy because there might be aircraft in the pattern and you don't want to smack into them, so you should be above them. And why 2 nautical miles? As you know, not everyone makes nice and tight patterns, so that's just for safety reasons. When you reach this point, you should begin either right turn or left turn, both descending turns, to join the downwind at a 45-degree angle at midfield, if possible, already at traffic pattern altitude, and then continue the landing as normal. As always, please do make an initial call on the Unicom, still on the Unicom, at least 10 nautical miles away from the airport, stating where you are, what altitude you are at, and what are your intentions. The intentions can be simply that you are planning to join the downwind of a certain runway. Then make a next call when overflying the field, and then next call when joining the downwind, and of course turning base and turning final. Yeah, I believe that's quite it. We have 2 VFR airports today, so if we want it, we are legally able to fly without using any radio, but that would be no fun. So yeah, any questions right now? If not, I will be here as always for the duration of the whole flight. I won't be streaming on Discord, but it's the stream is on Twitch right now. So feel free to watch that, but I do encourage you to fly and hopefully see you safely at Granby or Granby, forgot, one of those county airports. And happy flying.
Happy flying.
All right. So, based on our previous encounter, I believe we should do the walk around. So first let's check if we have enough fuel. I have filled into the brim and we should have, yeah, 30 gallons in each. Let me lower the flaps so I can do the inspection. I will try to turn the pitot heat on. And is it this one? Yeah, I will leave it on for a few seconds. So when we are doing walk around, I can try to see if it's actually hot or not. And maybe I'll just turn, if I turn it on, then I will be wasting battery. If I turn it off, it will maybe not be hot anymore when I get to it. But I can maybe skip just to check on the pitot as soon as possible. We'll see what it says. Okay. Let's try. Oh, this is not a pitot tube. Where is a pitot tube? One more. Yeah, there. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's red, so it's hot. So it works. Perfect. So let's actually start our pre-flight here. I won't be explaining everything right now. I won't also be checking fuel. Should of course sum the some. Okay, let's sump the fuel. Yeah, it's without water. Good. Then no rag this time. Let's check how much oil we have because I said that I will maybe fill it up. Okay, let's change the oil because I believe that's what would be good to do. So where do I do that? Engine, oil level. Okay, how do I additive? Do I just fill it? Will it be better? Yeah, I don't know how to like to maybe like this all the way down. Yeah, there is no oil. And then fill it. Maybe that's gonna be new oil. Then quarts. Let's see. Yeah, it's new oil. As you can see. So that's the procedure. Okay. Good. So let's continue. Yeah, that's fuel again. Sticks. Okay, is it still hot? It's cold now. You see? It took some time and it got cold again. Obviously. Nothing there. Okay. Good. And baggage. So that's gonna be, that was some expedited walk around. Never do expedited walk arounds normally because always do full work around when you're flying in real. Okay, let's get started. Alright, so battery mixture is full throttle not. Fuel pump. Fuel pressure is rising. Good. Fuel pump off. Let's do the primer. 2 strokes should be enough. A beacon goes on. Magnetos. And I won't use the full mixture because we are quite high, so I will just lean it. And let's try to start the engine. Parking brake is on. The array is clear. Clear prop. Come on, yep. There we go. Immediately checking oil pressure. Risen to the green. Slightly rough, the engine, so let's keep the RPMs up. And it will clear. Avionics on. Navigation lights on. Oil, yes. Yes, we will refuel because we fueled to the top, so safe. Remaining 60, that's correct. Still in green, fuel pressure, nice. Let's reduce. And let's lean a little bit more. Turn off the landing gear there. Reset the timer. Okay, let's grab the weather. And the wind is not gusty anymore. The same direction. Altimeter 3021. And we should read 9,934 or something, which we do. Good. Now I need to sync my directional gyro. It should read about 155. So about 155. There we go. We will be using runway 16, which is about 162 magnetic, I believe, so like that. And as soon as we take off from runway 16, then we'll just, maybe we'll go straight ahead. Yeah, we'll go straight ahead, and when we climb to 9,700, we'll just make a right turn and cross the airport and follow there. So I believe that sounds like a plan. What about the temperature? The oil temperature is still below green, so we cannot take off or do the run up yet. So let's wait a bit. We have a Unicom there, we have a VFR squawk. We'll check the trim, elevator trim to normal. And I don't hear anyone on the radio, so is everyone up already? No, I believe everybody is starting. So while we are waiting for our engines to be a little bit warmer, I'll just check how many aircraft we have. So it's me and 4 other. 3 Pipers and 1 ATR. Which should be there actually. Yeah, so let's go. Where is this camera setting? I can still use this one. How to use that? Okay, yeah, like that. Yeah, there we have some ATR. Okay. Okay, needle is already at the edge of green, so let's go. Lake County traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie Piper Comanche on the ramp taxiing to runway 16, Lake County. And we release our parking brake and make a right turn right here. Flaps can go up.
Lake County traffic, Comanche 6529 Waymo, taxi to runway 16, Lake County.
Alright. So I'm gonna put to 2000 feet and we'll play with the mixture to get the maximum RPM or maximum HP horsepower. Yeah, I believe 32 is maximum. If I well, just lean it till I get 32 like that and leave it there. So let's check magnetos. Left magneto or right magneto. Good. Actually I checked left because I just kept the right running. Right magneto. Good. Alright. Let's cycle the prop to get the warm oil into it. And once more. Alright, now I reduce to 1500 and check the operation of the carb heat. Yeah, RPM dropped. Good, it's working. And idle. Alright. I believe we are good to go. Lake County traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, runway 16, taking off, straight out departure. And we'll be circling back to the airport, Lake County. So strobe lights, landing lights, fuel pump. Let's do pitot heat as well. Flaps 1. And we go. Elevator trim, good. Altimeter set. Directional gyro set. And mixture is leaned. And there we go. We have winds from the right, so apply the correction and full power.
Lake County traffic, November 91 Papa Charlie, it's Papa Comanche, taxiing to runway 16,
Oh.
Lake County.
What was that? Let's increase the speed. you can see, it doesn't want to climb at all. So gear up. It should help it.
Lake County traffic, Comanche 6529 Lima, departing runway 16, Lake County.
So we still have flaps out. Okay, flaps in. And we continue climbing. We'll reduce the RPM just a bit. Check the mixture if it has maximum power. It does. Okay, 500 feet to go. And I haven't started timer, but I will start it when crossing the airfield. Lake County traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie at 11,200 feet, climbing 13,000. We'll be circling back towards the field and we'll be overflying that Lake County. Okay, I believe that's good enough. So let's turn and I'll switch off the fuel pump and landing lights. Flaps are up, gear is up, so let's turn it off. There's the airport. Now first course will be about 2.6 or 2.3 magnetic, because we want to fly into that valley there. So
Lake County traffic, Sierra Papa Charlie departing from 16.
we're gonna stop the climb now, because I believe those clouds look quite low. We'll just accelerate a bit. Okay, so RPM to about 2000. Lean. Engine sputters, so lean back. Or enrichen it back. And I believe 53% of BP is quite fine. So we are over the field. Lake County traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie over the field at 12,000 feet, and continuing to the north. Final call, Lake County. And let's start our timer. Start it. And we fly.
Lake County traffic, Comanche 91 Papa Charlie, taking off runway 16, Right crosswind departure, Lake County.
We're consuming 11 gallons per hour almost. And that looks daunting. So let's see what the map looks like. And that's it. So, Mosquito Pass. Okay, so we follow that. Alright. And I do hope I have the correct valley. Not, for example, that one. I believe I do. Yeah. So you can see, this is not something I would do had this been in real. It looks dangerous. Basically no place to land, and maybe I can climb a little bit higher. Now I see that those clouds are actually a little bit low, so let's do that. And let's continue climbing to 3000 if we can, and we'll see.
Lake County traffic, Comanche 91 Papa Charlie, turning right crosswind for runway 16. And we'll continue to the north and leave the pattern on call, Lake County.
Yeah, it still looks good at 13,000 feet, and here we will be turning left.
Lake County traffic, November 5 Victor Delta, type ATR 42. Taxi at 116, Lake County.
So that's 2 minutes, it just says 4 obviously with the climb. Oh, it says actually, yeah, it's just 5 minutes. Yeah, we started already at speed, but that's the difference. And we're flying here in the valley and continue there to the plateau.
Lake County traffic, Silver Patrol is overflying the airport at 12,700 feet, last call. Lake County traffic.
So can we look at the map? This is the plateau there, which we see. And right there should be some mine. Probably not gonna be visible in that snow. Let's not descend. Let's stay at least at this altitude. Oh, it's actually some gusts. So from the mine we'll be doing 357, so we'll be turning there and continuing. Just mark the time as 4:12 actually. So quickly make a note that we did it in 4.2. And then 3 minutes until the next user fix, which will be the fork if we are able to spot it. But we should leave the plateau in about that direction, and that's actually behind the weather station, which is now there is a low visibility reported and broken 7. Okay, so the weather got worse. And they updated that at 19:55, so about 20 minutes ago. So let's see how fast the simulator picks it up. because 1.5 statute miles visibility is no fun at all. And the weather station, if I'm not mistaken, will be someplace there on that Copper Mountain. I don't think we are gonna be able to see that.
County traffic, November 55 Victor Delta, entering runway 16, high County.
Oh, there is something. Maybe that's the weather station. Yeah, let's count it as the weather station. Quite a hike. There we have some buildings, I believe, belonging to some ski resort. Yeah, there's a ski area. Probably not that many trees in real life. But anyway, that actually brings us to our next turning point. And at exactly, let's say 3 minutes, let's give it 3 minutes. And we reset the timer at 3. And note down 3.0, and then it's another 3 minutes to another user fix that should be over there. So you can see there is this haze, maybe some wisps of cloud, and had I not had my icing turned off, I would be freezing over right now, even though I should not have really, at least not at the rate it would manifest itself here. So now we are continuing down the valley. Yep, keeping this on our right until we come across the lake or reservoir. It looks actually nice. Let's see how it looks like from outside. It's really good. See, yeah, that's the lake. It's only half frozen over, that's good. So let's turn towards it. Because should be arriving, or it will not be visible from this, but it should have a dam, and it's gonna be there, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just go there, and then we obviously fly down this valley, and there should be a Blue River one. So far so good.
We got the traffic under 16, County.
From outside. Right, let's mark the time, 2:45, 2:48, okay, so 2.8. And let's continue down here. wonder if we will be able to see the buildings. But if we fly our 323, for around 4 minutes, you can see that there is slight depression in the terrain. Strongly believe this to be this one. So when we are almost level with it, we should see some buildings, and then again water in the far away. I can already see that. The clouds add to the beauty of it quite significantly. So I can elect to go through this depression, contrary to my flight plan that tells me that I should fly just over this, which I can because I'm quite high. I can easily fly over that one. And then let's actually do that. But what about those buildings? Will I be able to see them? Likely not. It's rather bumpy here. More so than next to the mountains. I'm quite surprised. And the time was supposed to be 4 minutes and something. The broad buildings there, maybe. Almost. Yeah, it's probably that one. I will count with that, and when I reach them, I'll turn to about 339er. So just it's impossible to sync my gyro at this point in this wind, unfortunately. Yeah, there we see that body of water, but we could have gone around. Okay, I'm at the level of building, so 348, so 3.8. And now let's fly over. And we already see the body of water we are aiming for, so very nice. Just to check, there is no wilderness area there, and even if there were, we have 13,000 feet, this is 11,000 feet, so we are good. So let's get to the lake. And it's actually nice. I love this view outside. So a little bit of hands of flying. The aircraft seems to be able to correct itself quite fine. Not touching my feet, I'm not touching yoke, anything, it just flies itself right now. So let's see what it does. It wants to turn left. Maybe I should switch over my fuel tanks at this point. So let's main and right main. So we're just consuming from the left for now. And I'm again touching the yoke and making it worse. Look how the snow recedes gradually. We are coming to the Greenland. But just for a while, then we'll turn more east, and there we will have again some snow on the ground. So, how far away are we from the airport? At that point we'll be 13 miles from the airport there, which is someplace there. So then we'll make our call and start descending. And the time it should have taken me is 5 minutes. I am at 3. Looks about right. The scenery is quite spectacular. We'll be turning 5-6. Let's try to sink the gyro if I'm able to keep steady for a while. It's actually maybe a little bit, just tad bit. Where's the
Granby
east?
traffic, Comanche 6529 being is about 10 miles to the west. Be inbound for right downwind, runway 27 Granby.
And yeah, let's check the weather. 280, so yeah, that indeed calls for runway 27, which is a right traffic pattern. Which has a right traffic pattern, to be more precise. Okay, almost there. Let's tune that to 56. 056, that's, oh wait, that's there, it's a 90-degree turn. And our time is 4:48, and let's turn. Reset. Let's check the map again. Now we're coming, like, you should see the airport. Where should I see that? Is it there on that plateau or over the mountains? It should take me about 5 minutes, so it's not that far. There's the road. It's 4 minutes away. It should be pretty close, to be honest. Is it behind those mountains? Well, Granby traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie Piper Comanche, about 10 miles east of the airport at 13,000 feet. We'll be making for the right downwind from runway 27 Granby. And of course, the weather was calling for altimeter 3015. There we go. I don't like these mountains there. Something seems off. Or is it behind them? Yeah, actually, yeah, it's right behind them, but there are clouds. So, what say you? I take it a little bit from the right, maybe, or left, or just continue straight ahead. But there's some terrain. I strongly believe the airport will be behind this ridge there. Definitely not there. It's too much off course. See the whole VFR. Now this plateau will be that one. It needs to be over there, and I don't want to really come over the mountains. So what do I do? I'll reduce a little bit of power. I'll turn on the carb heat. And let's start losing some altitude. If I look at the elevation there, we should be at 9,000, 10,000.
Granby traffic, Comanche 29 Lima is right downwind, 27, Granby.
Oh, there it is. Oh my god. That was or is it? Yeah, it cannot be anything else. And there's that lake. Okay, so let's just overfly the field. I'm still too high. Okay, that was kind of lame. Okay, I need to descend, so I'll just push this forward. Not that much. And reduce power. And I should start dropping like a rock. You see? I'm dropping like a rock. Not really picking up any airspeed. Granby traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie over the field at 11,500 descending. We'll be joining, we'll be doing a right teardrop entry into the right downwind of runway 27 Granby. And runway 27, like so. Elevation was 8,700, I believe, 8,200. So I'm dropping 9,700 for now.
Granby traffic, Comanche 29 Lima, right base 27, Granby.
Can I see them? No. Okay, I'm too far away, so let's begin the turn. No, so let's slow down.
Granby traffic, Comanche 29 Lima, final 27, full stop, Granby.
And we need to continue descending to 9,200. What am I doing? I'm doing completely the wrong thing. Okay, so let's break off. Should have been doing a left teardrop.
Granby-Grand County traffic. November 91 Papa Charlie, set type of Comanche, 10 miles to the west at 12,000 feet. We'll overfly midfield at 9,700 feet and join teardrop entry to right downwind 27 Granby.
Granby traffic, Comanche 29 Lima has vacated runway 27 Granby.
I'm so used to flying right-hand teardrop entries into the downwind. I completely lost my situational awareness. Granby traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie joining a right downwind of runway 27 Granby. Seems to me I'm quite low. Well, anyway, fuel pump goes on. We'll check the brakes. Landing gear down. First flaps done. Landing lights on.
Granby traffic, Sierra Papa Charlie Golf Lima. Is a type of Comanche, approximately 4 miles to the southwest. We're overflying the airport, enjoying the right traffic pattern for runway 27.
Okay, let's make it short.
Granby traffic, November 5 Victor Delta, type ATR42, overfly the airport at 3,000 feet. AGL, and we will join the right-hand traffic pattern to Granby.
Granby traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, right base, runway 27, full stop, Granby. Okay, full flaps. Carpet off. Granby traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, turning final, runway 27, full stop, Granby. Okay, let's keep it coordinated.
Granby traffic, Comanche 91 Papa Charlie, overflying the field at 11,000 feet to the north. And we'll join right downwind 27 at the teardrop, Granby.
Fuel pump, heated heat, landing lights.
Granby traffic, number 55 Victor Delta. We'll be overflying Pace Field at 2000 AGL, correction 1500 AGL, and we will do a teardrop for the pattern 327 right, the right hand pattern from 827, Granby.
Granby traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, runway 27 vacated, taxiing to parking, Granby. Okay, strobe lights off.
Granby traffic, Comanche 9 on Papa Charlie, turning right downwind, 27, Granby.
Granby traffic, November 55 Victor Delta, right downwind 27, with the aircraft in front, in sight, Granby traffic.
Alright, let's do the parking brake. Set. Alright, so where are we? We can stop the timer. It took 36 minutes in the air to arrive at this beautiful place. Let's review the flight plan and how it looked like. How I flew and
turning for the base for runway 27, Granby traffic.
so takeoff, turn over the field into the valley, following the valley.
Granby traffic, Comanche
As
9
I said
on
I
Papa
would.
Charlie, turning right base 27, Granby.
Then seeing those
Granby
buildings,
traffic, number 55 Victor Delta,
continuing
extending
there,
downwind due to higher operating speeds.
and
Granby traffic.
here I set myself nicely for the left downwind, but yeah, that was the wrong thing to do. Where is the measure distance? It's in feet again, where I was too far away. I believe that proper traffic pattern would be like there, someplace. There. Yeah.
Granby traffic, Comanche 91 Papa Charlie, turning final for 27, full stop landing, Granby.
And I did a short final right there. Okay. So let's turn off the aircraft. I'll have the avionics on. What if I turn the master off? What happens? Yeah, I lose everything, of course. Then I will do that. So everything is off. Fuel on left. Yeah, it doesn't show anymore. Cut the engine. Magnetos off. Beacon off. And here we are. So thank you for following me on this flight. And see you next week. Bye bye.